Don't miss out on these clean trending opportunities off of the New York VWAP. If you want to build your accounts to pay out, these are the trades in the mornings you want to be involved in the market. I was able to wait actually a pretty long time. My first trade didn't come until later on in the morning. But I was able to make $540. You don't need more trades. You just need to wait for that one good setup. Now let's go over here and you'll see my long on NQ. It came at 11:22, so almost 2 hours after the open. Now let's first go over what the first opportunity to potentially play it today was. Now, again, my full strategy is available on ASFX TV, so if you're unfamiliar with that, you can check it out down below for free. I don't want to be chasing this first break of opening range highs. The first 15 minutes of the day, it sets the tone, who's in control. Clearly, it's all buyers today above this New York VWAP. Okay, so I probably want to be a buyer. We're also above the overnight VWAP, so it's full alignment for the longs. Now we get a pullback. This is our best pullback to New York VWAP, which is where I want to be long at. It's one small little pin. It didn't even fully reach it, so you had about a minute or so to get involved. Otherwise, it was right back close to those highs. So it's not the worst trade. You could decide to get in off of that turn here. Now, again, if you've seen some of these videos, I'm trading the pullback. So this is a pullback, but I like to trade back into previous structure. So in this example, that'd be like right there. Not the worst case scenario. I mean, obviously, it could break out, and it does. But I want to have at least semi-good risk reward to that high, just in case it doesn't want to break out, which we can take a look at in just a second. So it's not the worst. Also, with a price up here, where do you want your stop loss? I know I don't want it right here at current structure because that could very easily be swept out. We touch New York VWAP one more time, and there's our higher low down here. So that's not the right spot for a stop. Would it just be somewhere guessing inside this range? Potentially. So whatever. You can see there's a lot of different opinions on it, so I don't need it. And it's also very quickly, right? If I didn't buy it down here, I didn't buy it there, well, now it's gone. Now it's at a new high. Let it pull back to New York. I'm waiting here. Okay, here's finally our pullback. We're going to come back to New York VWAP. We're going to come back to New York VWAP. Couldn't do it. And I'm trying to be as picky as I can, saying I want the full pullback to it, and I keep on missing because it just isn't presenting. So I could then just decide, okay, you know what? This isn't going to pull back. Let me just jump in long here. Buying it close to the highs, you can see it kind of just stalls. So even if you bought it there, you should ideally win on the day. Let's mark that up. If you bought it here, it goes a little bit sideways for you. But with a good stop loss below, it eventually survives. So I'm not saying it doesn't win. It's a whole lot more stressful to just sit sideways for 30 minutes, back in the drawdown, and then you win. Where you can see my entry, it's pure profit because I'm catching it after the higher low is built. I always want to catch the higher low. So that's why I'm looking for the longs back here to try to catch that pop. If I didn't do it, I'm not getting it up here now. I missed the train. So you could try to make money in this one here. Like I said, it's not off VWAP. That's why I didn't take it. But either there's this second one or this third opportunity where I did eventually get in. And you can see the risk reward to that high, not the best. It's, again, against what I just said back here. I don't want to trade when there's not a lot of room to that high. But I think at this point in the day, it's 11:22. We potentially missed this opportunity. Small scalp, small scalp. All right, this thing's clearly buyers, and it's just not pulling back to New York VWAP for me, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. That it's not going to always give me what I want. But how can I get involved in this clearly bullish trend, right? I go over to ES. You can see it is touching its New York VWAP. So if I had been trading it over here, there's, again, a small little pin. So a bunch of people on stream are logging it here. I love this long. Just catching it on the turn. You can see you're getting in before that big bullish candle, so you don't need to buy it up here. With that bad, if you want to call it, risk reward to the high, you're practically there. But if you can get it down close to VWAP, now you can get a good stop loss below and scalp this up for a new high. That's the money right there. But I'm stuck trading NQ, so I didn't even see it really. Pulls back. Again, close. Doesn't make a higher high. Oh my God, end of the world. I like to still see higher lows underneath. I've made plenty of videos about that. As long as we're still building these higher lows, I still like the trend. The trend is bullish. Buyers are in control, right? So I can't be scared up here of this lower high because the lower high is gone. We made a higher high because we were never making lower lows. We just kept making these higher lows. Bullish trend underneath. So if I'm in a long, as long as structure underneath is bullish, we're good. But you can see here at 11:22 with my NQ entry, ES is bouncing right off its New York. Okay, so let me just try to take that information of ES is bouncing off its New York VWAP. Probably wants to bounce them here. This is the level I'd want to trade it at. So the fact that I'm looking at NQ and it's not off its New York, I don't know if I should expect it to keep on pulling back down because ES is probably done and probably goes higher from here, which is going to bring ES higher from here. So using that information, I was able to time it here on NQ, even though it doesn't look off of the VWAP. I was still trying to say, well, ES is, so if that's going to bounce from here, that should bounce my NQ as well. And we're able to drift for a nice new high from there. You can see another quick exit. I don't need to dry and pop. The more I could have gotten out of this trade is 20 more points, which on NQ is pretty good, but it would have sat through it for another 40 minutes or so. Not really worth it. I'll take my quick, easy, stress-free money for a new high, get out. Now, what else you could have done today is wait for a pullback, maybe long it again. But I think there was really 3 early opportunities off of the New York. Now, this isn't the end of the world. It's not a bad setup. This one over here with this pullback. It is a new high of day. If you anchor a high of day VWAP, turn that one purple. You can long it there after this pullback. Maybe this is our higher low. And now buyers are ready to go make that next higher high. They do. It works out. It's not off the level, but it is a nice sustainable pullback for like an hour or so. Now buyers are in. This is the money to try to be grabbing, right? When it moves this straight up, especially from down here when you look at it, this move, that's the move to try to capture, at least some of it, right? You don't want to be jumping in now and wanting even more. If you didn't get a nice low price, don't go chasing into longs. You want to catch it on its pullback. Now we're trying to time the pullback of saying, well, where is that pullback going to stop and the higher low be formed? It's a lot easier back here because you have a VWAP to tell you. Down here, you don't really. So you're probably going to buy it on the break. So that's why I said in ASFX TV, in the Futures 2.0 strategy, you have both entries. There's a break play and a bounce play. I like the bounce play. That's the lower price. You see the ones we went over earlier today versus the break play is the break of this high of day VWAP. So they both work. Obviously, some are different than others. Trend is different than others. But at the end of the day, the consistent price is going to be off of this New York VWAP. So hopefully you guys made money one way or another. It took 11:30, we were saying. 11:20 was his first entry. It kind of reminded me of this other one last week on Tuesday. This was at 11:55. Scalping it again off of this New York VWAP. But I think another good lesson on this is just not being greedy. Look at where the potential money was from this VWAP, right? A little pop, short-lived, right back down. A little pop, small pop there. You don't need giant breakouts to make money if you're getting positioned close to the VWAP. If you're not getting positioned close to the VWAP and you're buying it on its way up, then yeah, you kind of do need a nice extension to hope for any sort of profits on your longs, right? But whether the trend is super strong or kind of weak like this day, you can make money if you're close to the VWAP, or you have a higher probability of doing so than getting caught on the wrong side of trend, right? Because even if technically if you bought it up here today, which I wouldn't do personally, it technically made money, but the trend was super strong. I don't want to have to rely on strong trend in order for me to make money. I want to make money regardless of what the trend's doing because I'm getting positioned at a clean price, right? So hopefully that makes sense as well. Feel free to jump into the chat, ask questions, go through this strategy, then tune into the live streams. It's all here on ASFX TV. You get your first month free. So once you go through that, tune into streams, ask questions. All the replays to the streams are on here. So if you have any other questions or you missed the trades we took, here you have it. I appreciate you guys tuning in. Make sure you check out the top 1 futures sale as well. You can copy trade up to 10 accounts right now. And your next one, your first account you buy with Tradeovate is 60% off with code Evan. So a huge sale there. Make sure you go grab them while they're hot and while the deal still lasts because it is going to be ending soon by the end of the month. I appreciate you guys. I'll see you guys on stream tomorrow morning.